The Porn Supremacy. There is a significant correlation between our kind and the use of pornographic material. Once upon a time, one might imagine that the size of a person's porn stash might have been a rough and ready indicator of their reliance on porn and their potential for being one of our kind. Nowadays, the availability of porn through the internet means that millions of images and videos are available at the click of the mouse. No longer is it necessary for people to buy top-shelf magazines, visit an adult sex shop to purchase videos or DVDs, or import some hardcore material from another jurisdiction. It is far easier to go online and obtain a porn fix there instead. If you have been entangled with our kind, it is highly likely that porn featured on the agenda. Initially, it will have been used as an aperitif to sexual activity, watching a film together, or surfing for some interesting snippets in order to get us both in the mood, or perhaps enhance the mood further. It would provide a basis for discussion between us as to ascertaining sexual mores and appetites. During seduction, we would garner from you what worked for you, what turned you off, and what intrigued you. Some of that knowledge would be put to use as part of the seduction, and some of it would be stored away for later use. Porn would be used in an effective and healthy manner. Our true use of porn would be suspended by the needs arising from effecting the seduction, embedding you, and extracting your positive fuel. Porn appeals to each cadre of narcissist as a consequence of its availability and ubiquity. I explain a host of reasons why narcissists of all cadres and schools utilize porn, especially during the devaluation period. But to begin with, it is necessary for there to be a brief mention as to why porn is specifically appealing to these groups. The victim narcissist has low energy levels and often a low libido, so therefore porn provides an easy and available option. Some victim narcissists also suffer from sexual dysfunction, and therefore watching porn is an easy substitute for something that they are less able to do. With the Sematic Narcissist, porn is his playground. His obsessions with body and performance come together in a glittering array of writhing and gyrating bodies. Porn is the cradle of the Sematic Narcissist. In respect of the cerebral, whilst he may have less interest in the sex act, he still wants to know plenty about it, and watching extensive amounts of porn, understanding techniques, observing scenarios and so forth enables the cerebral narcissist to stockpile his sexual arsenal for later use through spoken and written communication. The elite, quite obviously a combination of the reasons that attract the somatic and the cerebral, means that the elite finds much to relish in the world of pornography. Turning to the schools of narcissism and the lesser narcissist, where there is less power and control, but the power and control which come with porn will appeal to the lesser. His lack of imagination is also catered for by watching such a massive array of porn. In respect of the mid-range narcissist, the acquisition of knowledge about porn enables him to portray himself as more capable than he is, and enables him to talk a good game. Finally, with regard to the greater, the access to depravity and humiliation appeals especially to the greater, whilst such actions will also be evidenced by the lesser and mid-range schools. It is the greater who makes more extensive use of porn for this purpose. Accordingly, porn provides some kind of use to each school and each cadre of our kind. If your narcissist did not appear to access porn, then it is probably the case that you just never caught them doing so. Secrecy is a significant part of the narcissistic lifestyle, and secret activity on tablets, activity in the bolt hole, and password-locked devices will invariably be masking a use of porn. Why do our kind make such extensive use of porn? The use of porn naturally is not per se a bad thing, and many victims enjoy viewing porn as a stimulating and vibrant addition to sexual activity. Those reasons are for stimulation, increasing knowledge and technique in order to please themselves and their partner, and in essence, for reasons which will be regarded by many people as good. Our reasons are much more varied. Number 1. Objectification. I have explained previously how we regard people as objects because they are our appliances. This is even more so when we watch porn. Our grandiosity and sense of omnipotence means that these objects are performing for our benefit. We sit before the glowing screen akin to a director as these objects interact at our say-so. If we want to watch two women and a man together, click. We find the appropriate video. If we want to watch anal sex, click. We find the relevant video. Whether it is she-males, enemas, bondage, whatever we decide the object should do, we just click, and the relevant objects appear to do what we want. We consider ourselves as commanding them to do our bidding. Number 2, the lack of intimacy. Our inability to feel many emotions means that intimacy is abhorrent to us. Yes, it will be faked during seduction because of the greater aim that exists in that period. But once there is no need for this, it is readily jettisoned. You may, not always admittedly, seek intimacy in your sexual union with us. We will not want that during the evaluation, and therefore this will result in an ignited fury response. In order to avoid such a scenario arising, we take refuge in the world of porn, where there is no such intimacy. It is cold, clinical, and it is where two or more objects are performing as we decree. Number 3, control of the environment. We do not want the environment to control us. We must control the environment. This is why control ranks so highly in our day-to-day dealings. In the arena of pornography, we are in complete control of the environment. We transport ourselves into the scenario as we are godlike and we control it, directing people to place this here and that there, do this, do that, take this, and take that. Porn is the ultimate place for us to be able to control the environment. Number 4, reflection. We do not exist save by reflection. This is why we have such an incredible need for external approval, and why we seek fuel from everything that we interact with. Your emotional responses, good or bad, provide us with validation that we exist, that we matter, and that we are important. We also take your characteristics to use as our own in order to further our construct of what we want to be. Porn facilitates this as well. The supreme Olympic performances of those in the videos that we watch are considered to be our own performances. Therefore, we take those characteristics for ourselves. We also regard the reaction of those in the videos, their orgasmic screams of delight, their groans of pleasure, even the harsh words issued by a dominatrix, to be directed as emotional reactions to us. And accordingly, fuel is gained, and we receive validation by these people recognizing us. We, in effect, become a participant in the porn. If the video is a point of view production, the effect is heightened. Number 5, withdrawal. By choosing to spend our time watching porn rather than being in bed with you, we gain fuel from your response. Sometimes it will be thought fuel, as we think of you lying there in a lonely bed, upset and wondering why we spend so long locked in our bolt hole. At other times, it will be proximate fuel, as you berate us for watching porn, or you become upset when we reject your advances and head for the study instead. Our extensive use of porn is utilized to belittle you, thus drawing fuel and reinforce our superiority over you. Number 6, a lack of challenge. We hate being challenged. After all, we are superior beings and you are inferior. Therefore, any challenge you may issue to us in the sexual arena is unwelcome during devaluation. You are not allowed to make demands on us. You are not allowed to have sexual needs which require fulfillment and the like. Those on the screen do not challenge us. Instead, they comply with us and facilitate what we want, and thus they are preferred. Number 7, on tap. We require repeated validation and recognition of our importance, and what better way than to receive it from a medium which is always there, always delivers, and does so in spades. It does not feel tired, it does not have a period, nor does it have a headache. It does not balk at a certain demand or resist a depraved act. It performs when we want it to, and it provides us with what we need. This is how we regard our appliances as how they should operate, and this is how we expect them to operate. Number 8, shame. We feel safer operating in an environment that does not require an emotional obligation on our part. Not always, but you will often expect an intimate connection with us during sexual activity, and we do not want to provide this as we cannot. Whilst we take fuel from your emotional reactions, you often want this reciprocated in the sexual arena more than any other, and we are reminded of our inability to provide certain emotions to you, and this creates shame. This is a criticism which will then ignite our fury and cause us to withdraw or lash out at you. We do not wish to experience this shame, and therefore, by engaging in viewing porn, we are not subjected to this emotional demand from you. It should be noted that this is also a factor in our kind's use of one-night stands and prostitutes. Number 9, uniqueness. By delving into deviancy and taboo activities online, this reinforces our sense of being unique, special, and above everybody else. Vanilla sex is available for everyone, but we are not everyone. Watching the more deviant and kink sexual activities is not done in order to gain a sexual kick from doing so, although one will be present. The main aim is to reinforce our sense of being unique, because we watch, and therefore by extension engage in, such activity. Number 10, triangulation. We will use the watching of porn to triangulate with you, either through withdrawing from sexual activity with you, or using what we have viewed as the basis for insisting on you engaging in similar activities and telling you why we want you to do this. This allows fuel to be obtained and enables our superiority to be reinforced. 11. Social media. Our porn habits during devaluation are usually solitary activities in our bolt holes, where we are also able to reach out and gain fuel from a wide range of appliances through social media at the same time. This creates a heady brew of fuel from our porn viewing and our interaction with appliances through social media. This is highly edifying for us, And by combining the two, we feel especially powerful. We receive fuel, but we are also godlike as we command the people on screen to do our bidding, as we pull the strings of those that we message and that we text. Accordingly, porn is something which appeals considerably to our kind.